Yeah, obviously Trav's not playing, and Sam Powell-Pepper will come in and play his first game for the year. So it's disappointing to have Trav out. It's exciting to have Sam back in the side because we know he brings a different element to our team.
Start with Trav. Pretty minor, confident it's just a 1 weeker?
Yeah, absolutely confident it's just a 1 week. It's something he's been carrying for a couple of weeks, and we just got to a point where it's not quite getting better, so we had to bite the bullet and give him a chance.
Can you talk us through Sam's journey over the last 6 weeks or so? Probably looked like senior football was a long way away not too long ago. What's changed in the last short time?
Yeah, I don't know whether senior football's a long way away, but I think for Sam the important part was to get himself in a good physical and mental health state, and that was what we said. It was for him to get himself organised and be right and put himself in some really solid, stable ground was important, because his footy was always going to be pretty simple. Sam plays footy pretty well when he's right and going, so once he got everything else under control for him, and we gave him the time to do that, we understood the situation, and credit where credit's due. Sam's come back in really good space. He's got great support of his teammates, and we look forward to him supplying some of that support back to the team on tomorrow night.
Just the one change then, Ken?
Yeah, because of the sub and everything else that goes on, there's different things that happen, but Sam for Trav is the basic change.
Where does that mean that Sam will play? Obviously Trav's a midfielder. We've seen a lot of Sam as a forward in the AFL. Where does he play this week?
I think he plays both. He plays midfield forward. That's what his role, and that's what his role's always been with us. And we've got good balance, we think, through our mids. Anyhow, we've got Drew. We've got Houston, who's been playing quite a bit in there. We've got Ollie, and we've got people like Gray and Rosie who can also come up and fill some roles in the midfield. So it makes us, probably be fair, it makes us just a little bit more flexible.
On paper, and I know we've done this a lot of times in our select teams, on paper, I suppose if you want a pure midfielder, Tom Rockliff's there. Where's Rocky at in your selection frame at the moment? Yeah,
no, he's in pretty solid form himself. But the balance of what we wanted this week and the game that we want to play, we thought Sam provided that for us in a better way than Rocky has. If we went purely for midfield, I think that there's no doubt that Tom would be in a pretty good position.
So what does he need to do for you?
He just needs to stay consistent. There's a number of players who are like that, though, and I know everyone brings Tom up, but we should bring up Trent McKenzie, we should bring up Jared Leonard, we should bring up Kane Farrell, we should bring up Sam Hayes, Peter Adams. But there seems to be a fascination around Rock, and somewhat that's because he's a really experienced player. But he'll like the other boys, will just stay in good form and they'll get their chance.
I suppose I can only speak for myself. It comes from knowing what he's been able to do in the past. Even last year, just because when he came in, has he fallen down the pecking order a bit, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think the game that we're playing is somewhat slightly different. We've had Drew come into the side, who's been a real big positive, and we forget that he's a young player who's emerging and getting better with every game he plays. So he's probably been as much as Rock's challenge as anyone, and Trav's been in great form, Ollie's been in great form, and Dan. So the people who are probably in Rock's way are all playing really strong, solid football. So that's the reason. And I'll go back again. As is Tom Cleary, Alir, Tom Jonas are all playing in great form, which is frustrating Trent McKenzie as well, because Trent's in pretty good form as well. So there's lots of conversations around other players.
Ken, Guernsey, have you had any comments on that yet? Just like to get your opinion on the situation there.
It's clear that it's a significant battle for us as a football club. We value the prison bar, and we should. But right now, I think that challenge is over to David and over to Richo, and they take control of that. My responsibility is to make sure we get all our energy now into playing and winning games of football like it should be. And we're focused on Brisbane and 4 points, but we really love the prison bar jumper, I'll say that.
Do you think fans will be more wrought up in the coming weeks because of that?
I don't know. I'm more worried about Brisbane and what our players are going to be like to play against Brisbane. But again, Richo, I'm sure we'll get all that feedback from our community and our members, which you don't have to look too hard to see that they love the prison bar jumper.
Can you put a call to arms out there, Ken? Perhaps everyone in the crowd next weekend needs to be wearing certain jerseys or anything like that?
Let's beat Brisbane. That's what I've got to focus on, and they'll beat Brisbane. And look, our people turn up. They know they'll bring what they know to bring.
You want to talk Brisbane, but
yeah.
Your fans really want to talk about the jumper. What was your response when you heard yesterday from the AFL that they'd said no?
No, I was disappointed like the rest of the club, and the disappointment won't go away. It's who we are. It's the history of our footy club. It is Port Adelaide, and it's a part of it. But again, those battles will be taken on now, and they'll go on, and they'll continue to go on. But with the right people managing them, my management role, I'll go again, is to play Brisbane.
A risk of pushing it. Would you ever play at risk of losing 4 premiership points to make a point?
Absolutely not. I respect the competition.
Brisbane then? What have you got for us on them?
I don't know, we're playing Brisbane, I think.
What have you got for us on them? What do you think?
Oh no, we think they're an outstanding team. A prelim final team like us last year. It's going to be a great battle. We haven't beaten them for a while. They've been too good for us. They've been too strong for us at times. And it's both teams pretty desperate to play well again because we have so much respect for the opposition that we come up against. And we want to beat Fags and his group, but not equally as much as they want to beat us. It's going to be a great game.
We've seen your team able to sort of shift gears a little bit with the game style this year. What gear do you shift into if you get 60 mil of rain or whatever it is over the next couple of days? How does that change things?
Physical battle. It's what it becomes. Physical battle and mental battle. And, we're capable of that. And I'm sure Brisbane are capable of that too. But, we've just got to go into battle mode as much as we need to. And we do that and we're capable of doing that. So it won't worry us.
Slightly easier without the Brownlow medalist playing for them?
I know Trav hasn't won a Brownlow medal, but he's been close. He's been close, so no. No, on balance, I think if we were to look at both boys, and let's be fair to them, great respect to both boys, they're both great players, and both teams would rather have them in their side.